Today, I've built a dedicated bike highway across Riveton, and it changed everything. But was it worth it though? Okay, so there are a few key areas in the city that we need to fix, and they are mostly these two intersections here. But maybe I don't need to fix the car traffic itself. Maybe it will be enough to just introduce bike traffic, but we'll see. So for this main street here, instead of adding bike lanes on in both directions, I will add them just one for each. So basically, right side's gonna be on this street, the left side's gonna be on the other. Hopefully, you get the idea. This one here is going to be one of the key connections to the highway itself, or the access point to the Now I'm also adding some connections to the other prominent streets. And another thing that I really like about the bike lanes is the fact that they will also eliminate roadside parking. Which I sometimes really hate, to be honest. Not always, but in most of the cases, it clogs the traffic, basically. Alright, so now that all of that is finished, most of the streets are connected to the bike network. Now let's have a look at statistics. So like I said, there are a few key areas that needs fixing. First of all, I'm going to try without changing the car traffic itself and see how that goes. Just adding bikes infrastructure. If that doesn't work, then we'll resort to changing some intersections as well. So let's go. Okay, first connection should be made here, because as you can see, this is where the bike lanes end. So we need something that will give them access to the other side. Being crucial or not, it doesn't matter. All that I care about is that they can cross. So what I'm gonna do, the easiest way would be bridge, and then they join on this other side. But instead of that, I think I'm gonna do actual underpass. It doesn't need to be a tunnel, can be just a lowered section lowered into the ground. Even though this intersection is not really straight or anything, but still make it look aesthetically more pleasing. I thought it would snap to the frickin' lane itself. If you do this, it should be able to create, instead of these ugly lips, it should be able to connect it directly where sidewalk should be cut to allow this path to go through. Same deal with car stuff, you know. Where if you place a building, there should be like an inlet to. But anyways, it's always harder from one side than the other for whatever reason. One side is always harder. That's what I mean. But it doesn't look too bad, right? So now we can get rid of this portion of oh no, I need the node, the infamous node. Oh, it doesn't recognize it anyways. That's weird. Hmm. That's really weird. I'm hoping this will work. That sucks. So I'll just keep it just in case, because I'm really not sure if it's gonna work or not if I get rid of that portion. So instead of having this ugly, unfinished kind of look, where is it? Come on. Just looking for the color. Okay, finally found it. It was in the net lanes after all. So I'll just do this tiny strip of green. And the game crashed when I was trying to place those net lanes to cover up the connection there. So this time I won't do it just in case. Honestly, I cannot stand having to restart the game over and over again just to do those couple of things, because it takes ages to load anyway. So like I said before, hopefully it will work, considering the fact that it's ending there but also connected here. Okay, finally, there we go. All right, now to figure out how to join these two crossings here. All right, there we go. It's kind of a tight fit, but it does work. So trucks can safely pass through or van under, which is good. Okay, so officially we have a start of our highway. I'm just gonna turn this into elevated segment because it looks better. First segment of bike highway. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so pretty much I'm connecting the rest of the highway to the first in residential zone and also to industrial section here, adding some bike parking and also a nice little bar and eatery so they can kind of take a break or from a long journey or something. It will split on this bridge here, and the rest will go to the residential zone. So so that people can either get on or off the highway and also loop back to the industrial portion of it. And the main stretch of the bike highway will run in the middle of the main highway lanes, the car ones. The only trouble that's gonna be there is actually crossing the river. You know, especially if you watched previous Riveton episodes, is that it recognizes only one bridge. So yeah, it is kind of dumb, but it is what it is. So yeah, this cannot go over the river as a bridge. It needs to go underground, and I think that's the only solution pretty much. So we are going underground. We'll have a tunnel that goes under the water, and not only under the water, but also it needs to pass all those pipes and electricity. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be tough at the same time. I think we definitely need more than 10 meters, maybe even more than 12. Let's see how we look. How are we looking? Oh, yeah, but it's still underground. That's good news. For whatever reason, it keeps sinking and sinking. I don't get this. And as you can see, the same thing happened to the pipes as well. Why does it go like this? What the hell is wrong with this game sometimes? Come on. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Look at how these things, I just noticed it now. Look at how these freaking pipes and tunnels and everything go. Look, it cannot go straight through the river. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Honestly. The only thing I can try though is to make it a bit more shallow. I don't know if that would solve any problems. At least for this section where... Oh, what the hell? Oh no. What the hell is going on? Oh, right. So we had Titanic as well, but only this time it was cargo, not the passenger one. Oh, God. That's weird. That's so freaking weird. Okay, finally. Finally we have somewhat proper tunnel. They should have made bike and pedestrian, not separate. Since we have bike plus pedestrian path, why there is no matching bridge? Alright, so we safely passed all that way and arrived at the second town across the river. And now there's only a couple of things left. This connection here over the railway so that people living in farms can also access the bike highway, and I made another connection here. It's really not. It's buried in all of those trees and bushes. There we go. So there's another connection there. And I'll fix the trees later on. And it arrived at the town. All right, so there is no much thinking, really. It would make the most sense to connect it to the transportation hub here. So that's the cleanest option at the moment, is just to run this little segment to there. So that's pretty much it. So what is left? What is left to do is to make some more connections to this main highway here. Since there is another hub this side, it would totally make sense. It would totally make sense to make a connection to that piece of land. So first of all, I'll upgrade this one to both bike and pedestrian, and then we'll make a connection here. Right, there we go. There's the first official connection to the actual highway. I'd say it looks really interesting. Even though we don't have much traffic yet when it comes to bikes, it certainly does look interesting and different. Now, like I said, another problematic area is this intersection here, this junction. So we need to somehow get the bikes to connect to the highway directly. And I guess the cleanest option would be to run bridge straight across. But can we do it though? Let's find out. Oh, and there's a first user. That's pretty good. Okay, let's follow this guy for a bit. Just see where he's heading. Oh, nice. That's pretty neat. So he went to the transportation hub. Amazing. So that's exactly as planned. So it works. What a relief. It actually worked. All right, so let's make just another one to kind of wrap it up, and then we'll check how we stand with statistics. All right, and that's the final one. Now we pretty much have very complex bike infrastructure, and hopefully you'll see a lot of usage out of it, at least in the future. But for now, let's just check statistics. Let's see the overview. So the traffic is still not very rich or prominent, but we have covered quite a lot of area. So my guess is it will only grow as the city grows. All right, so I'm really looking forward to the new supply chains DLC, as well as the skyscrapers, but I'm definitely more excited about industrial stuff. So if you like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.